Hello there. This is Tosin Shosonya of the Tosin Shosonya podcast, where we talk about faith, family, and leadership. Here, we put a spring on your steps so that you can live your best life. Welcome once again to the show. All through the scriptures, we see the words, fear not. And sometimes you read, fear not, for I am with you. But when God says, fear not, best believe it's because there's something that would actually make you afraid. Otherwise, he wouldn't have needed to say it. Have you ever been in a season where God says, I am with you, but everything around you says otherwise, and make you wonder if you heard God correctly? Have been there. I almost called my pastor one time to ask him what it really means when God says I'm with you, because I just couldn't wrap my head around it. In those times and those kind of seasons, prayer seems unanswered. The silence is loud. The pain is real, bro. And the circumstances scream, you've been abandoned. You genuinely feel forsaken. You genuinely feel forsaken. So how do you hold on? What becomes your anchor when your emotions and your environment tell completely different stories? If you've ever been there like me, you are not alone. At least that's comforting, partially, that we are not alone. Because even our Lord Jesus, hanging on the cross, cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me? Which means that our Lord Jesus felt forsaken. He knew what it felt like to experience overwhelming darkness. The feeling was real. But the Father's faithfulness had not changed. Now that's one of the hardest lessons of faith that a believer would ever have to learn. God's presence is not determined by our feelings. He is the same in the valley as he is on the mountaintop. And that's one of the hardest things I'm learning in my life right now. That he is the same God in the highs and in the lows. And his love remains consistent. That's not the easiest thing to learn, trust me. But faith is often forged in the places where nothing makes sense. Think about childbirth, for example. The labor is intense, every contraction hurts. Yet when the child is born, the pain suddenly has purpose. Or think about the athlete pushing impossible weights in the gym. In that moment, it looks unbearable, but the resistance is producing strength that couldn't be developed any other way. And when he gets the trophy, or he gets the admiration, or he gets the health that he wants, whatever his goal may have been, it makes it all worth it. Our trials often work the same way. Listen to what God says in Isaiah 41:10. It says, do not yield to fear, for I am always near. Never turn your gaze from me, for I'm your faithful God. I will infuse you with my strength and help you in every situation. I will hold you firmly with my victorious right hand. Notice something remarkable. God doesn't promise that there won't be difficult times. But his promise is that he will be with us. He will hold our hands, and he has guaranteed victory. It says, I will infuse you with my strength and help you in every situation. It says, I will hold you with my victorious right hand. But we have a responsibility to keep our eyes on him because he is faithful. We have to bring to the fore of our mind, even in difficult times, the belief that God is faithful. We can trust, we can rest, and we can rely on his faithfulness. That no matter what, he will strengthen us, he will help us, and he will uphold us. Faith isn't pretending that everything is okay, not at all. Faith is choosing to trust God's character even when we cannot trace his hand, even when we don't see what he's doing. We are still choosing to trust his character even when we cannot trace his hand. I know for planners, for logical thinkers, this is really difficult. Those who like to know the next step and have a plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, and have a contingency for a contingency. But sometimes they just have to jump off that cliff and just trust him. Now, if you're wondering where God is in your situation right now, let me say this to you. He is still with you. He has not abandoned you. Actually, he's carrying you through the process. Could have been worse. It could have been darker, but for his light. The same God who carried Jesus through the cross carried him into resurrection and glory. And the God who is carrying you today is leading you towards a future where this season will make sense eventually. I hope you find encouragement today and that your hope gets strengthened, that regardless of how lonely you feel and how difficult times may be, God is still with you. You see, Jesus is now being celebrated in heaven and earth. You too will be celebrated, and you will celebrate too. Don't give up. Keep your eyes on him. Your story is not over yet. And one day you look back and discover that God who told you fear not, never left your side, not even for a moment. And until next time I come your way, stay rooted and anchored in the hope that he is a faithful God. Keep your eyes on Jesus and remember, his presence is greater than his circumstances. You will laugh last. Bye for now.